Good morning, everyone. I am Sharlene Vilches, one of the students under the Diploma in Land Use Planning of the University of the Philippines Open University. And this morning, I'll be going to present my research proposal as one of the requirements under the course P299, which is Research Methods in Planning. And the title of my research proposal is the proposed Southern Palawan Tourism Circuit Plan. For the introduction of my research proposal, as to the study area, I consider the Southern Palawan as my study area. This portion of Palawan is the second district in the province of Palawan in the Mimaropa region. And Southern Palawan carries 45% of the total population of Palawan based on the 2015 census of population. It has a total land area of almost 8,000 square kilometers and subdivided into 8 municipalities such as the municipality of Aborlan, Nara, Quezon, Rizal, Brooks Point, Batarasa, Española, and Balabac. Southern Palawan is accessible both by water and air modes of transport. All municipalities except Balabac could be accessed by land from Puerto Princesa City, and Balabac, being an island municipality, could normally be reached by sea. Palawan is known for white sand beaches. A number of beaches, waterfalls, and springs are found in Brooks Point and other municipalities in southern Palawan, one of which is the Estrella River Falls found in Nara. But southern Palawan has much more to offer. It is endowed with various resources that could be developed into a competitive tourism area with the necessary infrastructure and service facilities. It is a home not only of the largest population of Philippine kakadu, but also to some of the world's most endangered species like the marine turtles, which can be found in Rasa Island, Wildlife Sanctuary, and Arena Island, respectively both in Nara, Southern Palawan. Ursula Island Game Refuge and Bird Sanctuary in the municipality of Batarasa is a haven to over 150,000 birds. Tabon Caves, a prime destination in the Philippines, where the earliest human remains in the Philippines were found, is found in the municipality of Quezon, also in southern Palawan. This river is a consistent winner of Gawad Pangulo sa Kapaligiran, a presidential award for cleanest and greenest inland body of water. Despite the various resources found in southern Palawan, tourism in the northern part as well as in Puerto Princesa City has been maximized compared to this southern portion of the province. The trend of tourist arrivals to southern Palawan is difficult to extract because it shares the data with its other half, the northern Palawan. Growth in tourist arrivals rate has been slow in southern Palawan. Most travelers going to Palawan usually proceeds to the north. At the moment, there is a need to upgrade the facilities and pour in significant amount of investments into infrastructure development to attract more tourists to come and visit southern Palawan. My research proposal also works on the premise that Palawan's development thrust is the development of its agriculture, fisheries, and tourism resources. The strategy calls for the development of these sectors supported by services, trade and industry, science and technology, environment and natural resources, and efficient infrastructure. Agriculture, fisheries, and tourism are three key growth drivers of the province, owing to its vast agriculture and fishery resources, as well as its unique attractions, natural attractions. The strategy is seen as the key to unlocking the sluggish development of the island economies. For the current state of research problem based on literature, in 2016, Vilches states that tourism becomes a means that leads to the stimulation and growth of the economic system. The amount of tourism contribution to a destination economy is influenced by numerous factors, such as the degree of infrastructure development, the management abilities of local authorities and private investors, the economic development level of the destination's country, and destination marketing abilities. Moreover, the National Tourism Act of 2009 encourages LGUs to ensure they prepare and implement a tourism development plan, enforce standards, and collect statistical data for tourism purposes. Local tourism development plans should integrate zoning, land use, infrastructure development, the national system of standards for tourism enterprises, heritage and environmental protection, imperatives in a manner that encourages sustainable tourism development. The Tourism Circuit Planning Guide, developed by the Philippine Department of Tourism, emphasized that by mapping the tourism circuit and assessing the key tourism sites in it, LGUs and their private sector partners can identify and locate the opportunities for generating jobs and investments in the destination. But what is a tourism circuit? A tourism circuit is a route on which at least 3 major tourist destinations are located, such that none of these are in the same town, village, or city. A tourism circuit should have well-defined entry and exit points. The tourist should get motivated to visit all the places identified on the circuit. Once a distinctive tourism circuit is developed in a municipality, not only can it be an effective tool for its local government unit to create employment opportunities for local communities, alleviate poverty, and stimulate economic growth, but also conserve biodiversity and preserve culture and traditions. Tourist circuits are used as a strategy to increase the total number of visits to all the destinations within the circuit, as well as provide tourists with a more rewarding experience and value for money by providing a mix of attractions and activities in a destination. For the objectives of the study, this study believes that connectivity, competitiveness, enabling mechanism, and market preferences are valuable factors that determine the potentiality of a tourism circuit and therefore must be considered in developing the same. The objectives of this study are as follows. First, to determine the present condition and performance of Southern Palawan as a tourism destination. Second, to determine the potentiality of Southern Palawan as tourism circuit in terms of connectivity, competitiveness, enabling mechanism, and market preferences. Third, to identify areas in Southern Palawan that can be considered as potential tourism circuit themes, and how this potential tourism circuit rate in terms of connectivity, competitiveness, enabling mechanism, and market preferences. And lastly, to determine possible plan of action to be undertaken to develop the newly identified tourism circuit in Southern Palawan and to enhance the other potential identified tourism circuit that are less preferred by tourists. For the research methodology, mixed methodology research design will be used in the conduct of the study. Both qualitative and quantitative data will be gathered, processed, interpreted, and analyzed. The researcher will also utilize primary and secondary data in the study. Primary data will be obtained by randomly administering survey questionnaires to 100 tourists both local and foreign, who will stay Southern Palawan tour destinations from January 1, 2020 to April 30, 2020. Tourism circuits were previously identified by the local municipal tourism offices in Southern Palawan. Survey questionnaires will be distributed at different tourist destinations, tourist lodges, and other tourism-related establishments within Southern Palawan. To continue on the research methodology, responses of tourists obtained from survey questionnaires, which will be considered as the data for demand, will be calculated and analyzed using frequency, percentage, and ranking. A separate set of questionnaire will be distributed to tourism service providers like tourist lodges and other tourism-related establishments within Southern Palawan supply, which will represent supply component. It also includes all local resources available and offered to the tourist. Nominal scales such as best, very good, good, etc. will be used. Potentiality of a particular destination will be measured through Ferrarius Potentiality Index. To continue on the research methodology, to measure the Tourist Potentiality Index, potentiality of a particular destination will be measured through Ferrarius Potentiality Index as shown by the formula, wherein high Tourist Potentiality Index obtained by a particular destination would mean that it will be considered in the short list of a planned tourism circuit. For the data analysis, the variables of this study are: first, the potentiality of a tourism circuit; second, the factors to determine the potentiality of a tourism circuit, such as connectivity, competitiveness, enabling mechanism, and market preferences. The former is the dependent variable, while the latter is the independent variable. The potentiality factors will be calculated from the survey responses of tourists, while the potentiality of a particular destination will be measured through Ferrarius potentiality. Assuming that other things are constant during the performance of this study, it will be possible to relate these two variables and confirm that indeed, the higher the rate of tourists on the demand and supply, which is connectivity, competitiveness, enabling mechanism, and market preference of tourist circuits in Southern Palawan, the higher the potentiality of Southern Palawan as tourism circuit. The relationship between the variables will be computed and analyzed using correlation analysis. For the expected output of the research proposal, the following are the expected outputs. First, the potentiality of Southern Palawan as tourism destination assessed and determined. Second, areas in Southern Palawan that can be considered as potential tourism circuits or circuit themes identified. New tourism circuits in Southern Palawan identified. Other potential tourism circuits that are less preferred by tourists identified and enhanced. And lastly, local governments in Southern Palawan assisted and facilitated in improving and implementing their tourism development plans. With that, thank you so much and magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.